Well, hello and welcome to the Trisbrina Show. We're back.
This is going to be such a great episode because tonight we're pulling back the curtain on something truly transformational. It's our 3-step Unblock, Unlock, Unleash framework. It's very simple, yet very, very powerful way to heal faster, feel stronger, and live longer by activating your own life force energy.
Now, this isn't fluff stuff. There's some solid science behind what we're going to be sharing, and we're going to be breaking it down in a way that's really easy for you to understand and even easier to apply.
Yeah, so if you've been feeling stiff, tired, achy, looping in thoughts, or just in that stress mode, there's good chances that your energy is blocked somewhere. And what's the good news is we're going to show you how to unblock it.
Well, hello, everybody. If you're joining us for the very first time, I'm Tristan.
And I'm Sabrina. Oh, and we have a very special gift for you before we get started. This is a 3-day virtual live event where we dive even deeper into this 3-step framework that we were just talking about: unblock, unlock, unleash. And we are gifting away to our Satori community a handful of free tickets. And you can get that ticket at satorimethod.com/alive. And that gets you access to attend through Facebook or YouTube with 48-hour replays. And then once you register, you'll be invited, if you would like, to also attend as a VIP with more time to watch the replays, access on Zoom where you can ask questions. There'll be more sessions and more bonuses. So everything's on that page, so jot down that link.
satorimethod.com/alive. All right, now, if you're new to our work, welcome. We have been online for a minute. This will be probably year like 15, I think, since we kicked it off. We used to have a martial arts and dance fitness school here in Austin, Texas, where we still reside. And I guess around the year 2007, we heard about the internet. And we thought, you know what? We can share with more people around the world what we love about movement, meditation, about healing, about transformation. We've been geeking out on this stuff since we were kiddos, probably like yourself. And so we love sharing about energy arts, and life force in particular. And so over many decades now, we're going on 40 years of teaching. Yes, we're in our, late 50s. Let's go with that. We have created a framework. Now, yay, framework, right? Who cares? Well, we care. Because you want to take a lot of the best information and bring it together into a simple way to understand it, to digest it. Mm-hmm. That's what a framework's for. So unblocking, unlocking, and unleashing is the framework that we're going to share with you today. We're going to unpack it and explain exactly how it works and why we work it the way that we work it.
Mm-hmm. What we find is that on the road to optimal health, vibrant health, in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond, you can't just look through one narrow window, right? So we were fitness instructors, and we were life coaches, and we've been meditators, and we realized when you just look through one window, blocks can remain there because you don't see them. So what we're going to show you is how to have like a holistic view of how all the pieces work together, the mind and the body. The body's in the mind is in the body, and how this unblock, unlock, unleash formula that we teach here at Satori Method and we share with thousands and thousands of students who finally have the healing that they've been seeking after so many years of chronic aches, pains, and stiffness, or sometimes it's emotional pain, overcoming grief, overcoming depression. So this is more than just a fitness program or an energy program. It really is a way to just live a better life where you feel good so you don't miss out on your life. We've had students that say, I'm so happy that I get to go on the family vacations, that I can spend time with my kids, I can spend time with my grandkids, I can play in the garden again, I can travel, I can make those arts and crafts that I want to do, I can cook the food that I want to. I was missing out on so much of my life because I just didn't feel good. And I felt bad about it, not just for myself, but for my family, because I didn't feel like I could be there for them. So that's sort of what was the catalyst for us to put this together and to offer this Alive and Thrive program to our community.
That's right. And welcome to our friends who are joining us live. So this is a live show. You might be catching the replay. And we love being able to use the power of the internet to reach more people around the world. It's truly incredible how many people are like-minded when we can create a container, an environment for us to learn together. So this is a learning environment. So that's why we're here to teach and share with you something that we think can truly transform your life. There was a moment in our particular journey where we became more than friends. Sabrina was helping me on my healing journey from crippling back pain. And together we were shopping, and I couldn't really walk for very long. I could walk for a couple of minutes. I had to sit down. I mean, it was really, really bad. And I said, I want to go to this furniture store because I heard about these chairs that can help me. I'm having so much trouble getting up and down. I remember walking into the furniture store, and I saw they had them. They're with the little clicker, and what it does is the chair stands all the way up. I don't know if you've seen these. And then all you do is you sort of lay up against it, and then it slowly lays you back down. What's reminding me of this is we saw something the other day. They were creating these beds where you just sit and the bed lifts you up and lifts you down. And we were like, oh my gosh, that seems so great. But what's going to happen to those people from convenience is they're going to stop using their core muscles. They're going to stop being able to take care of themselves when they get older. And I thought that when I was about to buy this chair, I was like, if I do this...
And you were in your 30s.
I'm basically saying I'm done. You know, I don't see a future out of this.
Not that for someone who has a certain condition and we can say that there's a handicap and they need that.
Yeah, for sure.
But sometimes we just stop moving because our life changes and we aren't moving. And then when we don't move, we lose the ability to move.
And so much of this is how you're looking at something and the belief systems of, can this body heal? And the answer is yes, we think you can heal so many things. We're not doctors, we're not teaching, we're not prescribing or treating, but we have seen with this framework, so many people tell us that they've transformed their bodies, and starting with our own case study. So let's dive into the framework. Let's share it with you guys. So the first part, you heard us say unblocking. So what are we unblocking? We're clearing stagnation from the body. So the body has so many channels inside of it for blood, for oxygen, for lymph, and life force. They're known as meridian pathways. And they act and serve as little vessels that carry the life force energy through them. And when they get backed up, when they get blocked, when they get stagnant, then your body starts to shut down. And sometimes people are looking through the physical tissue for the solution. It's my muscle, it's my bones, it's my organs. But they don't realize that what's before all of that is life force. Life force is what builds us, it animates us, and it heals us. So the energy arts are about healing the energy, because the energy is what determines how the physical density will show up. So let's unpack that a little bit further.
Yeah, so we're looking for the root cause.
Yeah.
What is the root cause of the condition that you have? Whether the symptom is aches, pain, stiffness, can't sleep, trouble digesting food. I just can't shake this feeling. I just feel blah all the time. What is the root cause of that? And I think we all, just here's an example that everyone can relate to. Let's say that you have a knee and your knee's been bothering you. Your knee's been bothering you. Finally, you see a good doctor, a good physical therapist, and they're like, oh, your knee's fine. It's actually your hip is out of alignment, right? So it was the hip that was causing the knee problem. And now we're going to say what was causing the hip problem. Was it an issue with the energy? For us, what we have found, very often, it is a block in the energy that is the root cause of so many symptoms.
Absolutely. Now, we do not discount that the physical body needs care. It needs stretching. It needs healing. It needs massaging. It needs creams, potions, things that help the physical body. But like Sabrina is saying, we want to dig into the root cause, what's behind that physical complaint. So yes, stagnant life force is going to lead to a host of problems in the body. It did for me with my back pain. The reason I couldn't heal my back with all the physical modalities, all the different things I tried, even a $90,000 back surgery, I still couldn't heal. until I discovered my energy system. So when you unblock this energy, and that's step one, you're able to bring your body back online. You bring that life force energy into the tissues and you start to heal the tissues. Now there's something else that's important to understand about energy. It's sort of like going to the energy chiropractor. You're making adjustments, you're making shifts in a tissue in your body known as fascia. So fascia lies under the skin. It surrounds your entire body, your muscles. It goes through your muscles. It's around your bones, your tendons, your ligaments. It's around your organs. And it is a secondary nervous system that helps communicate information throughout your whole body. It's now today considered the largest organ of the body. Well, fascia is also what houses the energy pathways. When you look at fascial planes and you look at energy planes known as meridians, you see parallels between them. So what we have come to find out is that the energy masters of thousands and thousands of years, they understood that if you gently manipulate, massage, stretch, squeeze, lengthen this fascial tissue, you can therefore influence the healthy flow of life force energy. So that's how we start with unblocking. We start with the physical body to get to the energy body.
Right. And you'll experience this at the 3-day Alive and Thrive event. It doesn't have to be a difficult stretch. It doesn't feel like Gumby yoga. They're just simple moves that are done with such intention and attention to them, whether you're doing them standing or in a chair, that can help open up some of those areas that have been so tight where the energy can't flow. Fascia that has become more like leather rather than very fluid and moving. And you will feel it instantly, quite often. All of a sudden you're like, how can it be? Just 20 seconds ago that was bothering me and now it isn't. And that's the beginning of more energy flowing into a part of the body where it had been cut off.
Now these exercises that we'll be teaching at the event, known as Qi Gong, energy work, they are different than typical stretches. They're applied in a different way. They're done with different types of squeezing, releasing, tapping, bouncing, lengthening, breathing, mental focus. It all gets married together into this beautiful approach that frees up the energy. Now, here's something interesting. The author of Biology of Belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton, he explains in that book how trapped energy in the body actually alters your cellular function. It causes your cells to be in a chemistry of stress rather than a chemistry of healing. So we are looking through multiple windows. We're looking through the lens of energy, but we're also looking through the lens of chemistry and biology. And you want to be holistic in your approach. It's very important because the body is holistic. It's not just one thing. You can't just fix this little thing, this little muscle. There's a whole system in place. And that's why this works for people with chronic pain that others haven't been able to resolve. Other doctors or therapists or people, they can't quite put their finger on it. Typically, they're not looking at the root, the energy. Okay, so that's a little bit about unblocking. There's another study here that I wanted to reference, which shows that if you gently practice these energy arts of Qigong, it can reduce chronic pain by up to 70% and improve flexibility by 30%. And these types of changes can take place in just a few weeks.
70%.
That's huge, right?
Reduce chronic pain by 70%. Also during the Alive and Thrive event, not only will you experience these fascia movements, but on day 2 of the 3-day virtual event, we will also show you how you can go through the energy door for more of a fitness regime. So then we're looking at bone density, balance, muscle mass, sculpting, more of an ideal weight, but not through, let's work out, right? Let's look out in a bikini.
That voice is pretty deep. Who are you?
But through this fun door of getting the energy flowing so that we tell our brains, hey, my hips need to be stronger. Let's build more. See, the body knows how to do so many things. We're just not pressing the magic buttons to get it to do it. So I feel like that with this system, what I've been able to do for myself is keep my bone density at such a great level. Like I got my bone density test last year and they're like, man, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I don't lift very heavy weights, but the weights that I do lift very light. I do it with intention, and I do it with the life force behind it. And the results that we get and our students get are off the charts. And we're so excited to share it with more people.
It's one of the feedbacks that we get a lot, being in our late 50s and maybe 60s. Wow, what are you guys doing? You know, like your skin looks healthy, your posture is good, your energy levels are good, your skin looks bright, your eyes are clear. What's going on with you? Life force energy. I would go as far as to say life force is the lifeline to the divine, which leads us to our next step. We're talking about moving from unblocking to unlocking. Now, we're going to go a little fluffy for a second, but it's okay. It'll make sense. The heart center in particular, it is so important to unlock, to open the beautiful wisdom that lies within. We've heard the sayings for years, right? Since we were kids. Trust your heart, sweetheart. Follow your heart. Listen to your heart. Why do people say that? Because there's an intelligence that lies within. There's an inner knowing or an inner being. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we're confused, we're lost, and our emotions really get disrupted. Now, this is the master feeling center. This is a home of where we experience so many of our emotions. And when it comes to energy, emotions are how we can read, like a language, how our energy's flowing. So when we are in close proximity to energy alignment, our emotions are more positive. They're more elevated. We feel good. We feel happy. We feel optimistic. When our emotions are sad, negative, angry, it means we're out of alignment with the flow of the energy. It's how you read your energy flow. So It's a beautiful teacher to be able to start listening to the emotions. And I know a lot of us have done a little bit of suppression. And over time, because we maybe didn't know how to deal with certain emotions, they get repressed.
Or oftentimes I find maybe you're oversensitive. Like I thought that I was oversensitive, so I tried to shut down. But when we block our emotions and we shut them down, or we suppress them, or we say we feel too much or we feel too little, what is that going to feel like in our life? It's going to feel like stress. It's going to feel like anxiety. It's going to feel like I'm not sure what I should do. I don't know what to think. It might feel like people are against you. It might feel like you don't fit in. It feels like angst, this energetic angst, or maybe you hook onto a thought and you just can't let it go. And it's just because you don't know how to process fluidly without judgment that emotion. What happens is when we have that kind of stuck emotion and feeling and suppression, and we're trying to protect ourselves, what is that doing to our physical body? Because those emotions are there. If you don't let them out, for me, I'm putting them in my physical body, and that leads to a lot of the aches, pains, and stiffness because the energy isn't allowed to flow.
It's the opposite of unlock.
Yeah.
We are locking them in our tissues.
Mm-hmm. They say the body's eavesdropping. It's always listening.
It's always listening to your thoughts, and it's then external. It's embodying them as feelings. Every thought has a corresponding effect in the body. Candace Pert's work comes to mind. She was a brilliant scientist who identified that the brain, when it has a thought, releases molecules, neural peptides, and they go down into the body and they attach on cells on something known as receptor sites. And so we can become chemically addicted to these neural peptides that we start looping in certain thoughts because the biology is craving it. She called them molecules of emotion. Now, doctors say that 80% of our visits to see them are stress-related. 80%. That's coming from the American Institute of Stress. Negative emotions, though, they don't just affect your mood, they impact your immune system. Yeah. They dampen it, they weaken it, they affect your digestion, they even affect your heart. So stress is really important to address. So how do you address stress with your heart? Well, when you relax into your emotions, when you open yourself up to feeling better, to improving your mood.
And we do this with energy exercises and mental processes that we'll be sharing with you at the event.
And we're going to explain a little bit about that now. But when you unlock this area, the emotions start to flow and balance and heal. So you're moving from a locked position to an unlocked position. Unlocking, yes, you get the wisdom of your heart, but you also get the flow of the positive emotions and the positive neural peptides. So now your immune system is getting stronger. You're releasing issues that get trapped in the tissues, and you're bringing your brain and your heart into a place of alignment known as brain-heart coherence. So when we are in this place, what are we doing? We're doing movements in our physical body that open up the energy pathways so the energy starts to flow. We start to release stagnation. We heal disruptions. And then the energy gradually and naturally rises. The frequency, this is the power of energy arts, it's known as energy alchemy. The frequency starts to come up. So from lower vibration to higher vibration, and it actually moves up through the body. And then it moves into the heart. And it opens the heart. It unlocks the heart, and it brings joy and love and gratitude. And your whole body is flooded with chemistry that heals you.
It's just like a radio station. You could say, what do you mean? Different frequencies. Well, when you're turning the radio dial, there's different stations, right? So I could be in a frequency that I've been on that has some aches, pains, and stiffness that I'm ready to allow energy to move into, to transform. I'm going to listen to a different station where those conditions don't exist. So there's different energy vibrations in the body. There are vibrations that are more in the frequency of optimal health, and there are ones that are more in the frequency of the energy being stuck or blocked or slow or stagnant. Just like think about like we live in Austin, it gets so hot in the summer, and right now it's in the winter. There's some bodies of water. There's some little, what would you call them? Little pools, natural pools like Turtle Creek, and there's water. It's beautiful. And then as the summer comes, it's all stagnant and nothing's moving and it's dried up, right? So that can happen internally to us with our energy and with our physical body. So we're going to change that frequency to get the energy flowing again, just like a river, so that things are flowing, they're not static, the blood can move, there's more oxygen. It feels happier. The energy feels happier. For me, it feels closer to faith. It feels closer to, there's like this knowing that everything's going to be okay, right? When I don't feel good in my body, that kind of sadness in my body, I worry. I worry about the future. I worry about what might happen. What are all the bad things that can happen? But in that different frequency, it's more about possibility and probability. And what are all the good things that can happen? And those are really hard thoughts to have when you're in pain. And that's why this holistic approach, that we're not only addressing just the physical body, but how is the physical body connected with the feelings and the mind, is so powerful.
The mind lives in the body. We were talking about that earlier, that when you have a thought, there's an effect in the body. And so those chemicals and those energy patterns start to get embedded in the tissues of the body. So now you have a subconscious mind in your body. This is why people use applied kinesiology and do muscle testing with the body. They're asking the deeper mind questions, if you've ever seen that. The mind lives in the body. So if we just do the personal growth in the head and we don't address it in the body and upgrade the body, we're going to loop back into the old patterns. That's also shown in that chemical addiction to certain thoughts. So you have multiple systems at play that you get to work with lovingly. And when you are opening up the heart, and Qigong is very powerful for this, there are ways of going inside, using your mind, using your awareness, using your breath, and you work on these energy places. They're like vortexes that get stuck and tight, and you open them up. That's how you make the changes fast. Yeah. And as those open up, I used the term earlier, energy alchemy. It's like transforming your energy from one state through alchemy to another state. And this is why change happens so quickly, so rapidly, and it's lasting. Because when it becomes, the word is embodied, meaning it's within your body, you own it, you have changed. Your body now starts teaching your mind. What? You'd think the mind guides the body. It's true, but the body can teach the mind too. The feelings, especially when they come up through the heart, start to send information to the brain. And now the brain is being guided by this embodied sense of wellness, this positivity. And the heart heals. If the heart is broken, if the heart is in grief, if the heart is in pain, betrayal, anger, all of that emotion doesn't hurt the other person. It hurts you way more. So if you really want to heal, you got to heal the heart as well.
Yeah.
So that's why Unlock is a very big, important piece of this framework.
And for many of us and many of our students, when we have felt a certain way for so long, it's challenging to remember that it's possible to feel a different way, right? We just sort of want to say, well, that's just the way it is. Well, it's always been that way. No, it hasn't always been that way, but it's been that way for so long that I believe that it's a fact. And if I have that kind of belief about, I'm just going to say a certain body part, right? I have this condition with that body part. I stop believing that it can move without pain. I start believing that it can heal. And so when these two parts work together, we were talking about this today. Like when you're visualizing your body doing something and just visualizing your body doing something, you're like, oh boy, I can't even visualize that because
that's how embedded it is
you
in the brain.
haven't squatted like that in so long. You know that we have to address it through the thought and to allow yourself to embrace the possibility of it before the body can follow.
So important.
And this might sound all like, oh, that's a lot. It isn't. It's very fun. You'll experience, we will laugh, we will giggle, we will cry, we will shake our booties. And that's how we wake the energy up. There is a joy. There's an injection of joy that also helps it all to happen.
For those of you just getting here, here's your link to claim a free ticket to our upcoming Alive and Thrive 3-day virtual event. We're bringing all the training to you.
Right. And this free ticket is available for a limited time. So you definitely want to get it before those are gone. And it's to attend on Facebook or YouTube. And after you grab one, you'll get an invitation if you would like to. You can join as a VIP on Zoom, where we have longer sessions. There's more Q&A and longer access to the replay. So whichever way works
bonuses.
for you. Yes, the bonuses.
All right. SatoriMethod.com/alive. Okay. So let's transition. The beautiful heart is also an amplifier. So we talked about it being the master feeling center. This is home of emotion. The heart emits energy like the broadcast station, right? It's sending out packets of information. It's interfacing with the quantum field. So when you are sending out this signal, you're amplifying. The law of attraction is always on. It's not like, oh, you're really good with the law of attraction. We're all great with the law of attraction. Everything we have, law of attraction, right? Our energy created everything that we have right here, right now. When the heart is anxious, when the heart is mad, it's sad, whatever it's emanating, the universe is saying, all right, I got you. Here you go. It's crazy how it works, right?
More of the same.
So because it's the amplifier, and it doesn't care, good or bad. When you shift it into positivity and love and gratitude and the highest vibrations that exist, you're going to get more of that. And now it's time to unleash. We move into the third phase of the system, the framework. So let's talk about unleash.
Okay,
let's unleash. We're talking about using thoughts from a conscious perspective. So think about the energy system like this. You have energy in your whole body. So your whole body is a container with lots of places that energy lives, in your limbs, in your torso. And we talked about these energy centers. There's 3 of them. They're big vortex energy places that you build up. A lot of times they're depleted. In order to fill them up, we have to first open the energy pathways, the meridian pathways. There's some really important ones that run up the back of the body and down the front. Those are known as extraordinary vessels. We'll take you through all this kind of stuff in the Deep Dive 3-day. We don't have time to do it right now. But as the energy builds in the lower area, known as your power center, it moves up to your heart center. Once the heart center is back online and you're in positive emotion, it starts to feed information to the brain. And the brain is used to focus energy and thoughts into things. So when we have really clear intentional focus versus split focus, fragmented focus, stress. When we have that clear intention, we can send energy in a direction into the field to consciously create. Intention is how you mobilize energy into consciousness. So if you have clean intention and you're aligned with what you love and what you want and why you want it and the energy that's going out, the universe is getting a really good signal from you. This is how you become a conscious creator. Got anything to add?
For me, I love the word unleash because we are talking about the wisdom center and the mind. And first of all, don't we all want to have more energy in our brains and in our thoughts and to be more present to what we're thinking and to sit more on the throne of what do I want to be thinking about rather than, for me, in the past, feeling the victim of my thoughts. Like, oh my gosh, I can't stop thinking that. I can't stop thinking about that. And those thoughts were making me sad, and those thoughts were really making me sick. But unleashing to me is when I feel so good in my body and I feel so good in my heart, I can unleash who I am into the world. What does that mean? It means I can show up for my family. I can show up for my job. I can do the things that I want to do. I don't feel held back. We have students that have written to us that said, thank you so much. I went on the summer vacation with my kids and my grandkids, and I didn't want to do it before Satori Method and learning these processes because I knew they would walk slower for me. They would be held back by me. They wouldn't do the things they wanted to do because of me, and I felt like a burden. And well, first of all, that feeling like a burden is usually a thought that we put on ourselves. It's not something other people are feeling about us. But the unleashing is, let me be all that I am for as long as I am. Let me do whatever I can to take care of this beautiful holy temple body that was so gifted to me by God. Let me take care of that and let me do good. Let me be kind. Let me be of service. Let me laugh. Let me giggle. Let me play. Let me live a full life, a life worth living, where because of energy blocks, I'm not making choices to have a smaller life than I was meant to have, so that the years that I have are full of life force energy. I'm full of it, and it's coming out of me, and it's contagious. And when people are around me, they feel happier. They feel more hopeful. They feel more possibility. As I move through life, I'm a positive impact on every single person I meet. I'm not sucking energy from them. I'm not taking their energy. I'm giving energy. I'm unleashing this beautiful divine energy everywhere I go.
And that's a real thing.
Yeah.
You can cultivate those feelings. We all can. Sometimes I used to listen to Sabrina and I was like, wow, she's so connected. She's so, because I was going through a lot of struggles with my body and that affected my mind. And I didn't have the energy to even think about creating. I was so focused on just getting through the day.
Yeah, surviving.
Feeling so distracted. And this bubbly unicorn over here was creating and we can do this. And I was like, I felt bad because I wasn't in that place. But a lot of people who come to our work, they start with their first manifestation being healing their body. So many of you who might be watching this live or the recording, that's how you met us. And you might be in that journey right now. So this is a really good way to show you the trajectory of what can happen once your healing takes place. You will move into this unleashing phase. Now, some of you, many of you have been with us for quite a while, and you are now at that point where you have the energy, you have the life force. You're like, how do I now unleash it?
What do I want to do?
It's exciting. So think about it like this. If you have a bow and an arrow and you're learning how to hold your body and hold the arrow and pull back, and you know, I was taking a class from a professional Olympics level trainer, and I was like, okay, now I'm ready to shoot the target. And she said, oh no, you're not ready to even aim at the target yet. You got to work on your posture and your positioning and your breathing. You're not ready to aim yet. And I was like, whoa, that was such a beautiful teaching. So sometimes before we can unleash and let the arrow go.
And it was a tiny senior woman, right?
Yeah, you're not ready. Sometimes you want to work on yourself a little bit more. And we understand. So just know that that's part of the journey. And then you are ready. and you got the mojo and you're ready to unleash. And we've got processes to teach you exactly how to manifest like a ninja.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be hitting bullseyes all day long.
And you know what? There may be days, or maybe it's just me, where I will feel like, oh, I'm not sure, I don't have any energy, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling amazing, and it isn't so disconnected. You're in phase 1, now you're in phase 2, now you're in phase 3. It can feel more like 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? And so it's flowing with that energy. And what's great is that when you are more, whatever frequency you're used to, like if you're used to this one radio station and maybe it's not country, and then all of a sudden there's a country song on where, you know, the guy's dog died, and his wife left him, and he lost his shoes, and you're like, and you're like, what? This song doesn't feel right, because it's not the vibration you're used to. You notice when you're off. So I really love that. From being in a different, more optimal wellness frequency, I notice when I'm out of alignment, and I have tools and processes and activators to pull me back. Whereas before, I wouldn't notice. I'd just start singing that sad song.
So let's recap. Let's help you take care of your beautiful body. We call it a holy house or a temple, and work on your tissues and your energy pathways and your energy centers. And let's bring the energy up after we unblock the body. And let's start to unlock our positive emotions, heal our bodies at an even deeper level, boost our immune system, heal our digestion, all the areas that are being affected by these energy brains. And then let's continue to bring that energy up to become conscious creators, where we unleash it into the world and we create from a place of joy, love, and excitement, and we start attracting and creating all the things that we want to experience more of in our lives. And we will teach you. You have the base level framework. Now we will show you the actual exercises to transform and get the issues out of the tissues, to open up the energy pathways, to tap into positive emotion, and then powerful, really amazing mindset strategies so you can become a conscious manifester.
That's right. So when you go to claim your ticket, satorymethod.com/alive, you'll hit a page, and the page will say, discover simple energy exercises and powerful processes to create a clear roadmap for optimal health and a life you love living. And that's what this is all about. And I just want to say, if you are in one of the phases that we talked about where you're like, I just don't feel good, this is so perfect for you.
Right.
This is so, so perfect for you. We'll have people from the youngins into their 90s.
Yeah.
We absolutely, everyone is welcome. The free tickets you'll attend on YouTube or Facebook. You choose. There's an option to upgrade to a VIP. The VIP seats are on Zoom. Like we said earlier in the presentation, there are extra sessions. There's more Q&A. There's additional bonuses and
community,
additional time for
other.
replays. And that's 90% off right now. So definitely check that out. This is so fun. I usually cry on the third day because I'm so sad to leave this group of people we've had such transformations. And you will leave with such a wealth of knowledge. And as soon as you register, you'll get access to a guided meditation to spark your intuition. You'll get instant access to a meditation that I would suggest listening to it at night, because most people never get through it because they fall asleep. But it helps you relax each part of your body one at a time through tension and relaxation. You'll also get access to Qigong for beginners. If you've never done any Qigong and you're like, I want to do something, you'll learn like the 9 essential exercises to do that.
That's great to do before the event, so you'll be more in the know and you'll understand some of the fundamentals, so you can get even more out of this type of training. So that's a free course we're giving you.
And then there's a really fun guided meditation. I'm not sure which ones are VIP and which ones are regular, but it helps you jump forward to like, where do you want to be? a year from now, and what do you want to feel, so that you know more what to think. And that's called the Success Express. So there's lots of bonuses, there's lots of community, there's lots of free. So like, why not?
We love our community. We have met some of the most amazing human beings.
Oh yeah, they're here right now.
We see you, and we've met you through Zoom sometimes. We've met you through email correspondence. We've met you through the chat. Some of you we've met in person. And I mentioned in the very beginning of this call, we've been doing this online for 15 years now, which is amazing. And so Satori Method has really grown into an incredible community of very like-minded and heart-minded people. So when you come, you're going to meet some of the most beautiful people, or you're going to rekindle relationships with people that you might not have seen since last year.
Yeah.
So please do attend.
Yeah, and for those of you who are in like our Life Force Dojo program, this is so fun because you get to be on Zoom with other people that are in that community. And remember, there's that added bonus that on the beginning of day 2, we're going to do energy fitness. So that's always fun.
That's right. Well, thank you everyone who joined us live. We appreciate you being here. And if you're catching the replay, if you have any questions at all, Satori Method, Satori at satorimethod.com.
Yes.
All right.
You can just reply to any of the emails that we send you.
Bye now. Much love.
See you there, Alive and Thrive.
Yahoo!